Hello and welcome everybody here to the channel, to the Sports Talk Network, specifically to this video. This video being of talking of who done it. This time, who done it double teamed. As last time we talked about Spook, now we talk about double teamed. I enjoyed another game being part of that I have in the past and have now for over at least 1 year. Feels longer, but just been a year. Um, and I talked about my interview with Coda earlier today in regards to my passion for the game, and everybody seems to enjoy it. But in regards to this specific game, there certainly was a lot of drama. There certainly was a lot of interesting things that happened. One in particular, but still, was memorable. We'll just say for that reason, and for that reason, the toll, and that reason specifically, I kind of am two fronts in regards to the position of it. In regards to how I feel about what happened during the game, the big, let's call it the elephant in the room that happened during this game. Part of me was upset and annoyed. The other side of me was I kind of understand. It was both sides of the train, both sides of the aisle. I was thinking in regards to what happened, but we have Jeff, we have Cody here, um, and Jeff, who was part of the situation, and we'll let him speak on his side of it, and then me and Coda will give our retort in regards to our position. But let's just say for me, it was out of nowhere. It was weird. It was interesting. And like I said, I was on both sides of the aisle in regards to my feelings on it. Because on one side I was pissed off and annoyed. But on the other side, I understood where at least Jeff was coming from. Sylvia, I don't know. But with Jeff, I understand. Because I was his teammate. And I got to know him a little bit personally. So I feel like I could understand Jeff. And I could understand his thoughts and opinions in regards to why he was upset. And he has the right to share his thoughts and opinions the way he feels is best for him. Now, did Sylvia just support a friend and decide to leave with him? I don't know. But it's more of was a Jeff thing than a Jeff and Sylvia thing, at least to me. Again, I'll let Jeff speak and actually say the truth and his side of the story. But I just want to share my side. Coda shared his earlier, but for me, yeah, I was just thinking both sides of the way and kind of balancing those two feelings, those emotions in regards to that. But again, I respect Jeff and Steve is a good friend of mine, so I understand where he was coming from. I'm just being honest in regards to feeling the other side of it. So before I keep rambling in circles, I'll let Jeff speak. The floor is his to say whatever he wishes to or whatever. And we will just go from there.
Hey, can you guys hear me? That's a yes.
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 Oh, okay. So I can't speak on Sylvia's behalf much because I don't want to give her side of things because that's her story to share. But Sylvia and I went back and forth together a little bit about how we were feeling in the game. And she decided she kind of didn't want to play anymore. She wasn't sure about it. But then after some things happened, I kind of agreed with her and we both made the decision to leave. But Sylvia was the one whose idea it was first. For me personally, I don't like to, I used to hold a grudge a lot. Recently, I have tried not to do that much. I've been trying to not act out of anger and things like that a lot, especially after the last game that we played. But at the beginning of this game, one thing that bothered me that I did let go eventually was there was a moment where I had some mental health stuff going on where I was feeling really low about myself. I was feeling, I was in a place that I'd never felt before. And because of that, I deactivated my social media. I told Steven about it. Steven knew that I was going to come back for the game, and then I'd deactivate again until it was game time or whatever was going on, or until I felt better. But Steven knew. I didn't feel the need to tell any other contestants that I had, serious things going on, because whose business is that? That's not anyone's business, right? As long as I'm here for game time and I'm around, what's it matter? Misty made a comment. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she said something about me disappearing and not caring about the game and blah, 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 blah. I think I have a screenshot somewhere, but I don't know where it is because I'm on my phone streaming right now. But I said something back to her and we got into an argument. And after the argument, I went and DM'd her and I said, hey, listen, I didn't mean to come off as harsh, but you don't always know what other people are going through. It's not safe to always assume people don't care about things or yada, yada, yada. And then I apologized to her. I was not harsh in it. I sent the screenshot of my apology to the group chat so everyone could see it, because that's the type of person I am. And after I apologized to her, she unfollowed me, whatever. And I posted in the group chat that screenshot. And she followed me, but then the game account came at me like it was my issue, kind of, and said, like, if there's any more unneeded drama or whatever, people will be removed from the game, whatever. And I felt like personally Billy was bringing beef from the last game into this game, because I didn't start anything. It was other people saying, stuff about me first, and then me kind of defending myself. So that was the first instance where I felt kind of like I was expendable in the game to them, and that they didn't really care. But I kind of brushed it off and kept going with the game, right? And then the next moment was when Coda tweeted about that challenge where you're supposed to make up the murder or whatever, and I tweeted also. Coda and I both tweeted. They only responded to Coda's tweet. They never responded to my tweet, which one shows they have no regard for me, because where was the response to my tweet, right? I'm a player in the game as well. Shouldn't you be responding to every player in the game and giving feedback if people have questions? They didn't respond to me. They responded to Coda, and that was at 2:51. 2 minutes later, Billy tweeted on his personal account and said, people need to learn to read. And sure, Coda might not have taken offense to that. That's fine. I took offense to it. I know Sylvia did take offense to it because we talked about it. It was unprofessional. We're supposed to be playing a game, that they're running. And if you want to be running a game, you need to be professional about it. If you're a supervisor to people in a workplace, you have to be professional. You can't subtweet them. You can get fired for that kind of thing. Professionalism is a thing. And Billy said something like, oh, you don't even know what that was about. One, it was 2 minutes after Coda's, you replied to Coda. You didn't reply to me. And two, after people brought it up, you deleted your tweet. So put two and two together, right? Sure. I'm not gonna backtrack right now. I don't remember what the comment was specifically, but there was a comment made, Misty. But I'm gonna move on. And so that's when Sylvia and I decided to quit, because the lack of professionalism. They kind of were rude when they'd reply to us in general anyway, to me and Sylvia. And they weren't being responsive to my tweets to them or my messages to them. So why would I continue to play a game where I don't feel like the people in the game or the people running the game are acting fairly toward me or are being responsive? How can I put, time and effort into something when people aren't putting that time and effort back towards me? So once I'd quit, I messaged them because they put that I was scared. And I get when people are quitting for certain reasons, whatever, or people don't perform well, you're scared, whatever, they have to kill you off. I quit because I felt disrespected by the way, Billy was unresponsive towards me, the way they let certain comments be made in the game, the way that there was subtweeting. I felt disrespected by that. I know Sylvia felt disrespected by certain things as well. And so I messaged them and I asked them politely to not use my name in the game, to, if they want to kill someone off, they can still kill Sylvia off if they want. Sylvia hasn't messaged them to say that. They can kill off an extra player if they want, a low scoring player. They can kill off another staff member. Who cares? Don't use my name. I don't want to be associated with the game. And they disregarded pretty much everything I said and said, we're sorry you feel that way. In order to eliminate you, we have to scare you and kill you off. This is a procedure. And then I messaged them again and I said, listen, like, if you don't want to remove my name, I'm going to report the account and I'm going to send screenshots where I've requested not to be associated with the game, blah, 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 blah. And they read my message and never replied. And they blocked me from the account so that I couldn't see that they were using my name in the account still. So that's very childish, in my opinion. It's not a mature thing to do. And I think it just goes to show that I'm not wrong in the situation and being upset, because what was the reason to block me? And then, so they blocked me from the killer account and they blocked me from the W Teams account. So then I messaged Billy separately and I said, blocking me on the accounts when I had a very calm response to you was very immature. I never performed poorly. I wasn't scared. I didn't want my name associated with the account. I've since reported the game account to Twitter and have included screenshots. I tried to be mature in this situation. Billy blocked me, didn't reply. So that's where I'm at with it. And that's when I decided to message everyone in that chat and say who the killer was. Because at that moment, it was still Becky as far as I knew. Didn't really care. I'm not usually the type of person that would do something like that, but I was feeling very annoyed that they blocked me on every single account. They weren't listening to my requests. They had already disrespected me. Like, people have breaking points, right? Like, I just didn't think they were very fair to me. And that's when I decided to do that. And whatever, can't take it back, right? And that's where I'm at.
All right. I know, Chloe, you were waiting to hear all that, and it was as much as he already has said it or shared it. Do you have any thoughts or questions you might want to ask him or whatever, since he's here?
Sorry, was that directed towards me or Jeff?
To you. Your
Oh.
thoughts on it, whatever he said, wherever you have any thoughts.
Here's the thing. I just see both sides. Like, both sides are just. I don't know which side to agree with. Both sides were being childish. Both sides had like their reason to do certain things, and I couldn't tell you who was right or wrong in this situation. You did what you had to do. They did what they had to do. I guess. Well, that's all I really had to say about it. Unless you have something to ask me or whatever.
No, that was pretty much it in regards to question about it. Or if you did have any thoughts about it on the side of the aisle you are on. I didn't know in regards to the messaging of Billy specifically on Billy's personal account and that interaction there. That is news to me. In regards to whose side am I on, in the end, it really doesn't matter, for one. But for two, I'm kind of like in regards to both were kind of feeding each other negatively. You know, one was upset for reasons, being Jeff, and then just wanted to reach out and talk to them and said what he said in those messages to the game account, and then the game account responded the way they did. And a message reply or whatever they said. Then Jeff goes over to Billy's account, personal, and sends a message again about, hey, don't use my name, that's immature, stuff like that. And then Billy just reads it and blocks him. And how they were trying to do things and try to show that they weren't immature is by, as I'm sure they would say, stooping to that level. Like they're trying to be up here and not go down here. So in trying to do that, trying to be above that, trying to be smart, trying to be the game runners that they are, they thought instead of saying anything, we're going to let our actions speak for us. We don't need to speak. We don't need to respond to him, because what responding to him will do is just bring more stuff on the plate. But by not responding and by just doing what they decided to do, brought more to the plate and more, or what I felt was more of an issue. So, like I said, I agree with Conan the fact that both sides were wrong. And heck, what do I know? I haven't run a game myself until next year, so I can't really speak in regards to how they. But I will say that it is procedural. I do agree with the game account with Billy and Becky, and the fact of when someone quits, no matter what the reason is, the only way in regards to eliminate them from the game is to scare them and to kill them off. That's just what has to be done, really. Because, at least from my head saying, in regards to that universe, they still are there, so they still have to be killed off for the game to move forward. So, that part, I agree 100% on their side. But still, it certainly was, in a negative way, entertaining, but also kind of something that could have been stopped at the first point of contact. In regards to the point of contact, when Jeff messaged the game account but not wanting his name, likeness, or anything to be used in the game moving forward, please and thank you, goodbye, sort of message. But it continued on, and that was already shared. So, it all could have been handled better by both sides. But in the end, like you said, it is what it is, and we have to move on, and we have other games to play or be part of in whatever way. Gavin's game is coming up next with Double Vision Season 2. So this can be a learning experience for both sides, I think. I take everything as a learning experience. I take everything as a possibility to learn from. I think Jeff can learn from it in regards to if something is the matter, reaching out to a game account, not just this one, but a game account, no matter what game it is, but reaching out and doing it in a calm, cool manner, in a relaxed state, and being able to then just move from there. And it can be a learning account for people who run games. When there's a participant, when there is a contestant that is upset for valid reasons that they find are valid, and they feel true and strong about them, and they do in the message sent to you as a game runner, it would be a pundit and would be smart on your behalf to listen, understand at whatever level you can understand it, and give actual feedback, not, as I would call it, company BS or game runner BS, like just general, actual human response as the people you are. To me, and we are still people. So I think it's a learning experience for both sides. But in the end, it is what it is. We shall move on as we shall move on here, unless anybody else has anything to say. Does anybody else want to?
I do, because I still feel like I don't understand why people don't understand my side of things, because I messaged them directly many times and said how I was feeling, and they ignored my messages every time. So I just don't understand how people are on, I understand both sides, because I messaged them multiple times to say how I was feeling, and they didn't message back. So what frustrates me here is to have people who I think are my friends saying, I understand both sides. But are you understanding both sides because you performed well in the game, you continue to do well in the game, blah, 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 or you want to keep those good. I'm not saying this is why. You want to keep those good relationships with these people, or do you like fully not believe that like what I'm saying is truthful or like fair or right? I don't know. I have messaged them very calmly many times. Sylvia read my messages. Other people read my messages before I sent them. I made sure my messages weren't rude messages because I don't like coming off as a rude person. And I know I have in the past sometimes when I, react out of anger. And I wasn't trying to do those things. And from playing with me in past games, you both know, specifically you two, know that there was a beef brought into this game by Billy because of comments that I had made. And those were comments that were made as jokes that I apologized for 1, 2, 3 times. I don't know. I apologized for them so many times, though, because they weren't things that I meant intentionally. I didn't mean to offend Billy. I didn't mean to upset Billy. Billy was my friend before the game. And so for him to bring in this beef when he says, "Oh, there's no beef. There's no beef." There's clearly a beef left. Like, if you were my friend still, you'd have listened to what I'd said and talked to me rather than blocking me on the accounts. And then to take it a step further, what I didn't say before was, I don't know if it was a contestant who did it. I'm sure Misty and Gisela didn't do it because they don't know Gavin. I'm just going to plug my phone in because it's going to die. Misty and Gisela don't know Gavin. I don't know if, what's his name? Romeo? Does Romeo know Gavin? No. So
I don't think so.
the only people that know Gavin in this situation are who? The two of you, me, and who else that was playing?
Lizette and John.
Lizette, yeah.
They weren't playing, and they weren't included in that group chat
Right.
that I made.
Yeah.
So after I made that group chat and said who the killer was, someone, whether it was you guys or it was shared with Billy and Becky, or Billy and Becky, I don't care if it was shared with them. It's their game. Like, I wanted it to be shared with them. I was being vindictive in the moment. Either them or one of you guys went to Gavin and said, "This is what happened, blah, 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 blah. Ban him from your game, ban him from future games." Because Gavin reached out to me and he didn't say that that's what was said, but he said, "Hey, I want your side of the story because this is what I heard." And he didn't say who said it, but I know that it's one of the four of you. I'm not saying it was either of you two. Like, I'm not saying that, but I know that happened. And I didn't do anything wrong. I left the game because I was feeling disrespected, and I don't think that that's wrong of me to do. If I was feeling disrespected by how they were treating me, how they weren't responding to my messages, how they weren't responding to my tweets about questions for the game, how they were subtweeting people, I don't think that's wrong of me to leave because I'm not feeling appreciated or valued, right? Like, why would you stay in a situation where you're not feeling that? Like, yeah. And so I just don't understand how people are like, I understand both sides. Like, it doesn't make sense. And normally I would understand both sides if there were two sides to understand. But here, there's not. I was blocked on everything, and I didn't say anything rude. I have screenshots of my messages to them where I was very calm and very polite and said, "Hey, I'm like, you guys ran a great game. I don't want to report your account. Like, I want you guys to do well." I literally said, "I want everyone else to enjoy the game, and I hope you guys have a really great time, and thank you for understanding my wishes. Like, best of luck with the rest of the game." I said that in my messages to them when I requested not using my name anymore, and they blocked me. How am I in the wrong? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Because you fought back is my problem with it. Like, if you had left and then you never said anything again, that would have been one thing. But then you went ahead and tried to sabotage their game on top of what you did. I understand that what they did to you was bad, but you don't. It's the saying, you don't fight fire with fire. You don't sabotage someone's game like that. That's just rude. I know you were acting because they basically ruined your experience in the game, but you also ruined theirs.
How did I ruin theirs before that happened, though?
That's what I'm saying, is that you wouldn't have ruined. They, like, Do you know what I'm saying here? Is that it would have been more on there. I would have been more like onto your side if it wasn't for the fact that you just went ahead and did that. I don't know.
But here's the thing, Coda. I was blocked on everything before I shared that information with you guys. That's the issue. Like, why was I blocked on everything? Why wasn't I heard out? Like, why weren't they responsive to me in anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I did that and then they blocked me, because I would absolutely understand that. 300% understand that. They blocked me when I requested that they not use my name, and I wished them well with their game, said I hope everyone enjoys it, said how great their game was.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, how does that make sense that they blocked me for saying
they shouldn't have. That's fine. I understand that. They shouldn't have blocked you. I don't know why they did, but they did.
And for me, I can only assume, in regards to why they would block you at that moment, is because they are making an assumption, which, whatever.
No, because they wanted to hide that they were killing me off, because I said I was going to report them if they...
Well, not just that, but
killed
they were
them.
making an assumption of anything that they would respond to you, that they were fearing of any vitriol or stuff you might say in regards to anything they said. Like, they might have been worried that you would be a ticking time bomb, that if something that they said upsets you even more that you already were in general, and you were trying to stay calm, you're trying to be rational, you're trying to be professional, that they were worried. See, I'm saying for them that they were worried that would escalate more.
So the easy thing would have been to just remove my name from the account and not use my name.
Yeah, but
right?
you're not understanding that that they still have to use your name to eliminate you. They still
don't
have
to
to.
use my name to eliminate me.
Well,
they can just write me out. That's like when people don't like celebrities don't want to be. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not saying that. But when celebrities don't want their likeness associated with something because it's not something representative of them, they sue people and get their name removed from something, or don't let their music be used with something, right? Like things like that.
Well,
this is the same exact idea.
No, wait, hold on here.
I didn't want my name associated with it anymore because they were disrespectful towards me. If I had quit, Coda, because I didn't want to do the game anymore because I just was bored or didn't have time or whatever, I would understand that. I quit because I felt disrespected. It's a different...
Okay, so wait, I just want to use an analogy too then. So if someone had a major role in a movie, right? And they were like a main character in that movie, and they decided, okay, well, I don't have anything binding to me. I want to leave because I don't want to work on this movie anymore. They're not just going to say...
They would replace them.
They would replace them, but they wouldn't say... They wouldn't... The timeline still has to make sense. They still have to write... They still have to write them into the script to make them leave. They wouldn't.
But they could have wrote any other character in to replace me.
Yeah,
like,
but they still have
another staff member.
They still have to say that you left somehow. They
could have tweeted, Jeff decided to quit the game because of personal reasons, or just not use my name at all, and wrote that in the group chat. There's literally no way to get around that.
Sure.
I don't think I'm being difficult here. Like
I'm just saying that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make... Well, I mean, I understand. Like, they could have just done that, and they could have just wrote your name out, and it wouldn't made sense in the timeline. But that would have been that. That's fine. But I'm just saying they did it because you had to be... They can't just delete every tweet that you were in and say, okay, well, Jeff never existed in this game.
I just didn't want to be written as being scared. And to have Steven justify that, oh, they blocked you, so like you couldn't respond anymore because they were afraid how you were going to respond to them responding. Like, that's wrong. That literally shows that they're wrong.
I'm just saying that they still have to script you in some way leaving the game. Like, I'm just saying that it doesn't, like Steven said, it doesn't make sense in the universe that you just left the game. Like, if it was the actual thing, like, I understand that they could have just replaced your name. That's fine. but it doesn't make sense as a writer perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because in reality,
Sure,
it's
but
easier to erase and eliminate your name. But in quote unquote this game universe, in a killing game, in a game with these contestants and whatever, in that facade of reality, and in that universe, they would have to kill you off some way. Maybe not scare you, but still kill you off randomly, and write that part of the script and then move on. Maybe not have you killed off part of a case, which is killed off randomly, and that already be shared of how it happened and blah blah blah. Moving on, but still technically using your name, so they could eliminate you and then move forward. But that's why I still say that I agree with them on that side because they just have to do it. There's really in that way. To me, there really is no way around that.
Anyway, I can't speak for them, but they really should have replied to you when you didn't, when you were feeling like disrespected. Like they should have said something about it, asked you what to do to solve that or whatever, because obviously that's where it all crumbled down, is that they disrespected you, but then they didn't do anything to vindicate it. They didn't apologize, right? They didn't apologize for any of that.
no,
Yeah.
they sent me like a short message. My message was, "Hi production, please remove my name from this. I'm not scared. I quit the game. Scared cards are for players who perform poorly. Instead, I quit because of the lack of respect shown towards players, which is a fair decision, I believe. I have screenshots of the tweet that was made 2 minutes after a tweet was made that threw shade at Coda and myself. Not to mention, my tweet to the account was ignored and all of my initial messages in the group DMs. I understand that there's a pre-existing beef that wasn't let go from the last game, but that's on you and not me because I've apologized many times and moved forward. I have receipts of the chat after Sylvia and I left as well, in which the game account threw shade at me for leaving, which did happen because I have receipts of that. This wasn't cool because I quit because of the lack of respect shown toward me and the fact that I was ignored. And the fact that they wrote things like that in the chat after is rude. I've said many times that I think you guys were running a decent game with good riddles and well put together murders. Sure, I spoke up when I was unhappy about information being given out that I won fairly. The time me and Steven won the riddle, and they shared that information by putting everything in capital letters. But that's a fair thing to be upset about when information is everything in a game. I don't feel like I'm being unfair here in my request. I quit for fair reasons, and the lack of communication toward me after the game shows that I made the right move. So please remove my name from the scared tweets and do not use my name any further. Kill off a staff member if you need to, or and don't feel like killing. Oh yeah, kill off a staff member if you need to, and don't feel like killing off another player. If not, I'll have to report the account to Twitter, which I don't want to do because I know you guys have put a lot of effort into it, and I know the rest of the players are really enjoying it. I'm open to having an open and calm dialogue if you are moving forward, but I don't want to be disrespected. Thank you for understanding my wishes and best of luck with the rest of the game. Tell me that doesn't sound like a calm, well put together message. And I said I'm open to having a calm dialogue, right? Like,
Yeah.
And they said, I'm sorry you feel that way, but in order to eliminate you from the game, we have to scare you and kill you off. This is procedure. And that was it. To that entire message I sent.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem disrespectful to you? Like,
No, that's
disregarded the majority of what I said. Like, so, like, if you were in my shoes, which you're not, so you're not going to feel the same, but if you were in my shoes, I feel like you'd feel at least somewhat similar. Maybe not, but I was very calm in what I said to them in that initial message, and they had ignored all my messages in all of the group chats we were in, and all of our like side alliance chats, whatever alliance chats we were in. Don't remember. They ignored my tweet that I tweeted in response to the tweet that you tweeted, and they weren't replying to me at all. So there was no respect shown towards me at all that week. I don't know.
No.
So it's just like shocking to me that people are like, "Oh, well, you're wrong." Because yeah, I know I was wrong to go and ruin their game at the end. But at the same time, I gave them a chance to have an open dialogue with me and talk to me and move forward and figure out a solution. and
Mhm.
they didn't, and then they blocked me.
Mhm. I mean, I guess. How do I say this? See, the thing is that oh my god, so hard. There's, I don't know. You,
Like,
they
I
should
could
have, they
absolutely-
should have handled it better. Like, I see. The thing is this, from my perspective, they were running a great game. Like, they see. I guess. See, the thing is this. Okay, here,
But I
I'll
said
say
that.
that.
I said they
I'll.
were running a good game in my
Yeah,
tweet.
yeah. See, I'll say this is that the reason why I don't want to bash the production team, well, on my side, like I know that you want me to fully agree with you, but I mean, from my perspective, I mean, obviously, I'll go back to that. From my perspective, they were running a good game. If I the biggest thing I was worried about was like scheduling stuff. So of course I was like always like I whenever they were thinking about changing the day of a riddle or something, I'd be like, I need that day to be the riddle, and then they would be like, yeah, okay, you're right, we need to make it that day. So like they were always professional to me. Okay, but
Except when they
that's where
subtweeted you. But side note.
that's where what
I said except when they subtweeted you, but side note.
I see. I just. I honestly don't care about that subtweet. I mean, I know it might have been directed towards me. I don't care.
Well, it was
Stuff
directed
like
at you or me.
stuff like that doesn't. Well, it could have been directed towards you. I don't
You
know.
don't have to care about it, but it's the fact that it was still unprofessional.
Yeah.
But we can move forward. Continue with what you're saying.
They were unprofessional to you. I can't speak for them. I can't apologize for them, obviously, but they were unprofessional. They should have listened to you at least. Like, I feel like that was just their main thing, is that they didn't listen to you. They didn't apologize. They didn't think of anything, but they didn't think of anything to like resolve the issue. I feel like at some point they were just in a sticky situation, and I feel like they just decided if you're gonna die, you're gonna die anyway. Like, I feel like at that point that you messaged them, didn't you already quit at that point, or did you not quit at that point?
When I sent that message?
Yeah.
That message is when I left the group chat. I didn't like.
You didn't officially quit?
I said like, oh, I'm done, like whatever. But like, I could have came back from that. Did any events happen from then on that point? No other things had happened. Like, I could have come back, like if we had talked about the issue and they had been mature and responded to me, right? Like, there wasn't anything else going on. Like, I didn't miss anything.
That's true, but you made it very clear that you were quitting. Like, I feel like they knew that you were quitting. Like, well, at least they thought you were. I thought you were. Like, at that point, I didn't think you were coming back. I suppose you could have. There was nothing stopping you from coming back and making a case and surviving from nowhere. Because obviously, at that point, Sylvia would have like quit, and she would have had no case to save her, whatever. But I feel like they just at that point assumed you were quitting, and they just had already planned that you were dying. I don't know. I don't know.
So
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't have made you like just made you disappear from the game. I guess you could. Well, I don't know.
If they would have at least communicated with me a little bit more or better, I would have never done that. But they didn't. They blocked me. That's what.
Yeah, they shouldn't have blocked you. That's
made me so angry. Like, I just don't understand why it got to that point. Like, it wasn't like I was like, fuck you guys, you suck, your game is shit, remove my name. You know, like I was very calm with what I
Mhm.
said. Like it wasn't like I was aggressive towards them. So that's I don't see how I'm like what's the word, antagonizer in this situation.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like there should have been no reason to block me. Like they could have communicated with me. Was it that hard to send a message back and have a dialogue about like what had happened, or about removing my name from the game, or explaining it a little bit better and offering an apology?
I think I don't know why you
You can
expected an
say
apology.
Coda.
No, yeah, I don't know why you expected an apology. You two already had beef.
But I had
Like
apologized so many times. There was no reason for that beef to be brought into this game, Coda.
I don't know why I don't know.
Why did he let me into the game
I'm
in the
bad
first
at
place?
conflicts, okay? I don't deal with conflicts very well.
See,
I just want to be
and
friends
I
with
hate when
everyone.
conflict doesn't get resolved. That's my thing. Is
Yes.
I hate when it doesn't get resolved.
I
I
just
don't
want
like
everyone
conflict either.
I just want everyone to be back together. Like, jeez. That's why I'm not taking too much of a side, is because I don't want you to hate me, and I don't want the game to hate me. Honestly, it's just what it is.
That's fair. Personally, I'm a different kind of person where I'm going to stick up for my friend. I'm not saying you're not like that. And are we that
I
close?
see.
No.
Oh
But
yeah, but
I'm always going to stick up for people when I think they're feeling wronged and I think it's validated. Like, I'm not going to not stick up for someone. And so I did feel a little bit of a lack of support. Not from you, not from Steven necessarily, just like in general. Like, I don't know why no one was upset that they were like being unprofessional. I don't know. Whatever. Can't go back and change it. I'm the one that's blocked on everything for no reason. So
see, the thing I feel, well, I will just, the last thing is that remember from our point of view that they weren't really unprofessional. They were unprofessional to you, but not really to us. Besides that one thing that you said that they might have subtweeted me. I don't know.
Coda.
They
So
were
you're
unprofessional
saying
to me.
Coda. But yeah, okay.
That they were
So you're saying-
unprofessional.
Right. So you're saying, Coda, if you see someone being wronged in public,
Okay.
you're not going to do anything because, and it's another analogy, right? Like you're not going to do anything because
Okay.
someone's
You got
not
a
wronging
point.
them or not wronging you. They're wronging the other person, right? Like,
Nah.
and I'm not saying
Yeah. You got
something, but
you got a point. That's a fair point.
I just wanted people to see my side. Like, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. Like, I know I'm wrong in certain areas. It was absolutely wrong of me, and I know it was wrong of me to share that Becky was the killer.
Yeah.
But I had been wronged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I hit my breaking point, and I'm sorry. It happened.
That's fine. I understand that.
It's not fine. It was immature, and I shouldn't have done it. But
I've done very similar things before. It's just something you have to do. Like, there was this one time that there was I won't get into too much details. There was a certain website that I used to use a lot. Okay, to the point where I was like basically addicted to it, and yeah, well. Hey, don't you dare. Basically, on one of the forums there, I just felt like it was, well, obviously I didn't feel wronged or anything, but I just spat out complete nonsense enough to get me banned from that site. It was very bad. I got banned.
I love that.
Because I was just like, I can't deal with this. Like, I can't be on here as much as I am.
Right.
I'm not perfect either. There's been moments in regards to whether it's been past Whodunnit games, other things in my life where I want to respond to an individual or individuals. Once I literally did a video, because that's me, videos. But did a video, was going to send, but decided was better for me not to, and I didn't, sort of thing. So I'm not saying I haven't ever been in that situation. I never lose my temper. Trust me, I have anger issues, or at least I more so did when I was younger. Anything can set me off. My own ticking time bomb. It was dubbed since I was born in Peru, the Puquio temper, Puquio Peru. But either way, so in my regard, like sometimes if I don't get response, or if I like for you were talking about regards to not getting responses from a game when you're tweeting or other things in regards to that interaction might annoy me a little bit, but it would have annoyed me more if it happened earlier in my life. I mean, so I'm just bringing it up just to share that I'm not, an angel and everything, but how I've tried to better myself with my temper, with my personality, with how I approach things. I approach things now more not just relaxed, but to be quite honest, in a let's just call it a business forum kind of thinking, where I just take everything from seeing in that way and what's best for business, what's the most professional way of doing things. What's this, what's that, and whatever. So, and I understand you were trying to too, but I'm just saying for me. Um, but yeah, that'd be my last remarks in regard to the subject. As we are almost an hour into the tell-all. The next thing I did want to bring up is there are some questions. I did throw the game a bunch of questions. Yes, the Jeff Sylvia one was part of the question, so I'm sure you all will be interested to hear their response to that. But there are other questions alongside it. All right, so let me go to those DMs.
Oh, did you get answers?
Oh, I got a whole paragraph. So here we go.
Oh,
With the questions
just surprised.
that I did ask. The questions that I did ask were as follows, because I'm just going to read their answer all in a row. The questions that I did ask were, when was the killer casted, and what did you look for in casting that grand rule for your game? When you casted, did production team have your own picks on who you thought was going to win it all, or did you not care at all? What do you feel is the most T moment of the game in your point of view? What did you think of the Jeff and Sylvia quitting situation and Jeff trying to get your accounts deleted? Are Jeff and Sylvia no longer allowed to apply to future games you run? How do you think I did in this game? My best or worst moves? Honestly, I do enjoy feedback. And what would be your final message to the cast? And what is your plan in the future of running games? So those are all the questions I asked.
Real quick, I never said I was trying to get their account deleted. I just wanted my name removed from the tweets, which is a thing that Twitter does if you prove that tweets are not appropriate tweets or should be removed for certain reasons. Never said I was trying to get their account deleted. All I wanted to do was get my name removed from tweets.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the them wanting to delete the account. I never got that indication, but okay.
Either way, here are their responses, again, in order of the questions asked. There are originally two killers, but when we changed killers, we decided that one was fine for what we have planned for the rest of the game. We both agreed on who we thought would make a good killer. We looked for someone who we knew could blend in without making anyone suspect them, and also someone who had not been a killer before. The most memorable moment for us would probably be Casey's murder, because that was the moment we realized that the red herrings caught everyone off guard, even if you had the advantage. The only thing I'm going to say about the Sylvia and Jeff issue is that when we were confronted with the issues, we handled it the best we could, and we didn't really get a chance to answer anything or answer anything. And there were two of us running this game, and we had chosen different things to do between running cases and running murders and killer tweets. I, Billy, wrote the locations and some killer tweets and ran some riddles, and Becky wrote the intro to the murders and the murders themselves. And that particular day, Billy had an issue that day concerning an event I was supposed to go to, and I had misread some information and just was dealing with things. So Becky took over for me for everything that day. I will always encourage people to play future games, but as for games that we run, I don't think we will cast them again. Your best move was
Wouldn't apply
probably,
again.
huh?
I said wouldn't apply again.
I feel like that was a given.
You feel your best move was probably playing both sides. Your worst move was relying on those alliances too much because eventually that was your downfall. My final message to the cast is that we hope you enjoyed the twists we put into the game, and we haven't decided if we are going to run another game yet. But if we do, be aware for more twists and turns in the game and possibly longer game itself.
Can I ask you, Jeff, something? I'm just
You
curious.
should.
I'm just curious. Are you gonna try to avoid Becky and Billy in future games? Like, are you gonna try to avoid them if they apply? I guess that's kind of be hard, but
Wouldn't
just
be
curious.
afraid if I had to play with them again in another game. If I decided to play in another game, I don't know if I want to play in another game right
Mhm.
now because of how everything is. Right. So
That's I
obviously
was
be afraid.
wondering about that.
But if
Okay.
I were to play in a game again, would I care if Becky and Billy were cast? No, because I made it way past Becky. I made it past Billy. I made it past Billy in both of the games I played with Billy.
Mhm.
Not afraid. And I'm
Mhm.
not a mean person. I come off as this mean person sometimes, but I'm really not.
Yeah, see,
Like-
I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like there's something like that's what I don't understand is that every time you've been nice until someone brings up something and then it's like, well, I mean, even then you like try to respond back fine, but like it's just crazy. It's like they take something you say and then escalate it. I don't know what happens.
Like I used to be really petty to the point that I would subtweet people all the time. I would like say all these things on Twitter and just be like this childish person. But like I've moved forward from that and like I try to approach things in a mature way. And if it can't be in the moment, I always give it time, like a day or two, think about it, and then come forward and message again and try to talk it out. You know, like so for me, it's just like weird to see people like thinking I'm this bad person all the time because I'm not. I don't know. And I was a little rude to you, Coda, when I did. I was feeling lack of support when that thing happened, and I messaged you, and I do apologize if I feel like offended.
No,
or
I thought you
but
hated me.
no,
Very well. I mean, I'm still not sure if you hate me or not because
no,
you made me okay. Okay, you made it seem like you hated me very
I
much
used to
so.
hate Kennedy. From my first game, I used to hate Kennedy.
Everyone hates
hate Kennedy
Kennedy.
anymore.
No,
I
I'm
don't-
kidding.
I
I'm
don't
just
hate
kidding.
Kennedy anymore. I
I'm just
kinda like
kidding. Kennedy was my teammate, so I just know how she is. She's just very bossy. I've never hated Kennedy. I was just joking, but she's just, I hate her for lying to me and killing me off in one of those games. It was something about like red ants or something, and she like said they had like chicken pox or something. Anyway, I'm mad about that. Sorry, that's completely off track. Go ahead, Steven.
No, it's fine. No, yeah, I just wanted to. Go ahead, Jeff.
I do have a comment.
Yes.
So you said something about them. They wrote that they didn't have time to reply, or didn't have a chance to reply to the me and Sylvia situation. But if that were the case, like when I wrote those messages, could they have not said, "Hey, we don't have the time. We have a lot going on right now. Give us a chance, and we'll respond later"? Or could they have not read the tweet, and then I would have seen they had, or read the DM, not read the DM? I would have seen they had not read the DM. I wouldn't have overreacted, and I would have, waited until they had time to reply and seen their reply, right? Like, like that's not a valid excuse for the way that they responded or their lack of response, in my opinion. No one else has to add a comment about that. That's fine. We already talked about it a lot. And I get that no one wants to offend anyone. That's fine. Again, I didn't talk trash on either of them this entire time. If we're like going off of how I was, did I say anything negatively about either of them as a person? No. I just talked about the history of like what happened with the beef that was brought in for no reason, and how there was a lack of communication, and that's it. I'm not a bad person.
You're not.
No, you're
You're
not.
not.
Yeah. So here we are.
But yeah, I just wanted to, like I said, I asked them those questions, and they actually responded pretty quickly in kind. So thank you, I guess, to them for responding to all those questions and being honest also about it, than just, as I call it, company line. But either way, I guess the other thing I did want to speak on in regards to the game itself. I mean, I know, like, except for Jeff being shorter because he decided to leave for his reasons. But even before then, or as the game was starting and everything, Jeff, we were a team. How these were going to go in regards to, or did go when the teams were split up. How were you feeling in regards for even for yourself? Because I know you talked about how you kind of knew that was going to be the twist. That was going to be what that was going to be. You brought it up because I tried to bring up my ideas. I tried to share that, hey, I think it could be this, it could be that. I'm trying to think out of the box. But in the end, it was the obvious way to go. When the game started in regards to for yourself, kind of maybe seeing that down the road, how were you thinking in regards to your chances of going far before you were disrespected and decided to leave?
I don't want people to think I have a big head, but I think I could have went to the end pretty much. I'm not saying I would have won, but I think I could have went to the end had I continued. We had a pretty good alliance. Coda, oh man, I tried to work with Coda. We tried to work with Coda at the beginning, and then what happened? Coda, I remember after the first riddle, I had to kill Coda because we had side alliances, Coda. We had aligned with different sides. And the one side was saying to me and Steven, kill Coda. You know his number. We gave you his number.
Oh my god.
I wish. Why aren't you killing him? And how many times,
I was
Steven,
so mad at them.
How many times did I try to not kill Coda, Steven? Every single time they told me to kill Coda, I was like, oh, we'll wait. I'm gonna try to get someone else whose number we don't know. And like 3 times I hit nothing. And after that, they were like, you have to kill Coda. It's now or never. We're gonna lose. So I was like, ugh. And then I had to kill Coda, right?
I'm upset.
So the next riddle.
Oh.
What?
I'm upset with them because we were trying to make like an alliance with them. Kinda. Not like a strong one, but we were like trying to make friends with them. And that when you told me that they told you your number and my number, and I was like, yeah, screw them. They're dying. Bye.
Right. And I couldn't not choose your number. Like, if I didn't choose your number, they were going to be like, well, that's shady. So,
yeah.
And I tried to tell you before I did it, or as I was doing it, I tried to tell you, I was like, Coda, I'm sorry. Like, and then the next game, Coda didn't pick. We were playing those stupid fucking jukebox, jackbox, whatever games they were. And Coda picked to eliminate my design. And he knew it was my design, and he picked to eliminate it.
I didn't know it was your design.
You did.
I did not know it was your design.
Yeah, everyone knew whose design was whose. You could see everyone drawing them.
No, you couldn't.
In that one, you could. I swear.
No, you can't. They don't.
You could. They were like hung above us or something. I swear.
No.
I
don't think you know how that game works. And Jackbox Party.
I remember this one. I remember it specifically.
No,
I remember.
Go ahead,
Coda. I swear I remember this one. And it was like shown.
With the drawing ones, they don't show your name until you vote. Once you vote, they show who drew which ones. They don't show your name for that one. I play Jackbox Party all the time, I promise.
Same here.
Okay, well, either way, you eliminated me, and I was like, whatever.
Okay, I eliminated you because you had an awful try. Oh wait, no. That's not what it was. I eliminated you because oh, I remember what it was. So hey, so everyone for some reason. Okay, I don't know why this is. Everyone in that game for some reason said I don't know why. Did I know someone else's drawing? I can't remember. I don't think so. Um, so everyone in that game for some reason knows when they read the description it says vote for the least, like the one that you hate the most.
Mhm.
But for some reason most people when they first read that, when they first play the game, they read it as they vote for the one that you like the most. So so I voted for the one that I thought people would like the most.
Right.
So that was yours.
But after that, I was mad at you because then I didn't get the points that I needed, and then I lost the entire thing. And so I was like, Coda is shady. And then
Trust me, that was not towards you at all. I did not know it was yours.
I thought it was, and I think I could have went farther in the game. Like, I'm not going to say who. There were people who were clearly not strong players that were clearly easily not manipulative, easy to manipulate.
No, you're right.
There were people who weren't very active. The only time they were active was when they absolutely needed to be. And by people, I mean one person specifically was literally never there unless they had to be. Maybe like kind of two. And so the only people that were actively playing, I felt, and were very, 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 very intelligent-ish were myself, Coda, Sylvia.
Romeo.
In my,
Romeo was too. I don't.
Well,
you
Romeo
didn't.
wasn't there. Romeo was intelligent, but Romeo was the one who I was like, he was kind
Oh,
of there.
you
Not.
wait. You never. Okay, so if you saw Romeo theorizing with me, you would change your mind. He's smarter than you think.
No, I absolutely think he's smart. That's what I'm saying. I just didn't think he was there all the time. Like, I thought he wasn't. Like, there were times, at least in the beginning of the game, where he wasn't as active as people.
Did you know he lives in a completely different time zone? He lives like on the other side of the world.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Makes sense, but that's why.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, he lives.
People like
he lives in Singapore. That's why he wasn't there half the time.
Yeah.
That's why he wasn't there half the time.
Well, I didn't know that, and that's why I said like there were certain people who weren't there, and I said Coda was like, or not Coda, Romeo was like I said 1.5, right? Like I didn't say 2 people. There was like 1.5. Becky was almost never there. She was never active at the beginning of the game. I don't know how it ended. Becky
was like the same way the entire game.
And didn't she get like runner up or a 3rd place or something?
She got 2nd place if you don't count the killer.
Yeah, so to say I think I would do well and would have gotten far, I don't think is an understatement or saying much.
Yeah, Becky actually, it wasn't much of a challenge at the end. It was between me and I don't know if you saw any of the totals or whatever. Becky scored 0 in the first challenge, 0 in the second challenge, 0 in the last challenge. And the last challenge
I don't even know what it was because I was blocked. I don't know.
Yeah, so hold on. Okay, so there was a set of 10 questions that we were supposed to answer as the last one. She didn't answer a single one correctly, or at least fast enough. So I got 6 and Gisela got 4. So
and Gisela, I think Gisela got better as the game went on, but
Gisela
wasn't great.
Gisela lied every single time, but she only like hid one thing, and then I always didn't trust her because of that. So like she would like, you remember the Whodunnit case? She didn't mention the wheelbarrow. I don't know why that was the important thing to her, but she didn't mention the wheelbarrow. Like that's it. Like or like I'm trying to think of one that you were in, Jeff. What did she have with John and Lizette? I don't know. She always just hid one 4-word phrase or something. And that was it.
And the other thing with Misty and Gisela was when people would reach out to them, the majority of the time they would just ignore the messages and not reply. And I think they shut themselves off from doing better in the game that way because they didn't even pretend to communicate with people or build fake relationships.
See that there goes back to saying Gisela did better as it went on. At the end, I lied to Gisela to see if she was partnered with Becky, and she was, because I basically said, I know you're lying to me because Becky told me the last known whereabouts is this, and then she's like, Becky didn't have the last known whereabouts, she has the morgue. And I was like, how do you know that?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Crazy. Yeah, I think
she was
Sylvia
partnered
and I
with
had
Becky
stayed,
at the end.
It would have been a different final three. I think you would have still been in the final three. I'm not just saying that.
I think so too. I'm upset that Romeo would have been in the final three if he submitted a case as his last one.
Oh, he didn't submit a case?
He didn't submit a case. He was on a flight and just missed it. Yeah. He had no Wi-Fi. He thought it might happen, but he never got he didn't get Wi-Fi in time, so he died.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said he told them to kill him off if he didn't say anything. So he knew it might happen, but I was sad because he would have gone in the top 3, easily.
Right. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. But
well, what were you gonna say?
Can I mention something? Can I?
Go ahead, Cody.
There's one thing that I'm mad about. Well, okay, you remember John and Lizette's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we found out later that you were completely lying to us about. Well, I mean, we kind of knew you were, but we found out you were completely lying about the last known whereabouts for John and Lizette's, which was. Or was it not last known whereabouts?
It was the mystery location.
Mystery location. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
I completely fabricated that by myself.
Yeah, it was so...
I fabricated it because, one, that was the case where the riddle was the Jackbox thing, and I was mad, and I thought that you were playing me, and I thought you were mad about me killing you in the round before, and so that's why you did that. And so I was like, well, Coda's not working with me anymore, so... We gotta do something, and everyone else was like, "Yeah, let's fuck it up. Let's lie."
You ended up accidentally helping me because me and Romeo went off on a train of what the heck does Frankenstein mean in this case? Well, Frankenstein choked people to death, so maybe they got choked to death, and we happen to be right about that. So we found out they were we got it right that they were choked to death because you said Frankenstein.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
It was like some Bible passage or something. That was
yeah.
open.
Yeah. We found that out later.
And the other thing was the curtains were completely open, which means the ropes were taken from them, and that was the ropes that were used to hang them.
Yeah.
But I only lied that time because I thought you were two-timing me, Coda.
I wasn't two-timing you. I wasn't. I was just trying to play a good game of Jackbox. I literally just wanted to play Jackbox. It was a fun... I literally lost. I got the stupid loser wheel.
Oh. Yeah.
I hate that the one thing I got was this... Okay, wait. Hold on. We all got the first question wrong or something. And we had to cut a finger.
We had to lose a finger.
Yeah.
And the finger that we lost
the finger
that was the right question.
I will say this. I was scared. I will say this. I did choose the same finger as you on purpose because I was scared of you the most. So I wanted to have the same options you did. I will say that. I did do that on purpose. I don't know if you noticed that, but we shared the same answers and they were shit because the one answer that we never had was the right answer and it was awful.
Right. Stupid fucking finger thing. It was like, it doesn't matter. You have to choose a finger. It doesn't matter which one, but if you don't choose one, I'm gonna do something. And I was like, oh. I didn't like that game. It gave me anxiety.
Yes. I love Jackbox Party. I'm just upset that I got the loser wheel. The loser wheel. The stupid 1 in 6 chance of dying. The 5 in 6 chance of dying. That was what made me upset.
That was rough.
Yeah, so anyway, neither of us even made it to the final of that riddle. It was
fucking, didn't Becky win?
Something like,
or did Sylvia win? Sylvia or Becky won?
I thought it was just, I don't know. It was Becky. Becky like lost her Wi-Fi, but then still won because she was still ahead.
Right.
I think. I think so. Crazy.
Unreal.
But anyway.
Yeah, either way, it was a crazy and interesting game, I guess, in that regard. And just in the game in total. And of course, congratulations again, Dakota. We had the interview for being the winner. Nothing much really else. Regards to things to bring up, I was trying to think of other things that I might want to share. We kind of already spoke of what we needed to speak on, and then other things. But yeah, I don't think there isn't too much else that we don't already know in regards to alliances, interactions, gameplay, and stuff like that. So, all in all, I would say another great game be had. The next game will be Double Vision, season number 2, shared there at Whodunnit DB. You can find it there. That will be starting like January, February, whenever you decide to start that one. But I think we did a jam-packed 1 hour, 12 minutes of broadcasting here. So I'll let you guys share any last words you have, if you care to. We'll start with Jeff.
I'm good. I've said my grievances. I'm moving forward.
Sounds good. Coda.
I've said most of them too. I mean,
That's
Jeff,
fine.
I don't hold anything against you. You're a good dude. I don't know. Shit happened this game, and whatever. It happened, but I don't hold anything against you, man.
I respect where you're coming from. I myself got upset, and actually, if I want to be completely honest, just to share it with my own last thoughts, is that I got a little ornery with the game account in the beginning of the game, where I was having my anxiety moment, and I was being upset and whatever in regards to being worried about being casted at all because of the Becky situation from the past, and Jeff was worried about not being casted because of the Billy situation with those two, or with you and Billy. So we kind of spoke about that to each other, and I sent some messages to them in the game about, the ones that I'm not really proud of, but really about, don't take personal matters in regards to casting. I believe me and Jeff deserve to be part of this game. So I hope that in the end, it is in your best interest to give us a fair shake. If you don't cast us due to other reasons, that's fine. But if you don't cast us, I would like an actual honest reason why. I don't just want to hear, "Oh, we just don't feel that you were right," because I would feel it's more than that. So I had my own moment before the game in having an interaction with them. Then as the game went on and whatever, kind of grew to kind of building things back together in regards to me and them individually and the game and whatever. But yeah, I just want to share that because A, that happened. And B, It's again, like I said, something that I myself not too proud of what I said, but I just was worried about not being casted. I want to make sure that we got a fair shake to be casted. I even said I understand you probably won't want to cast us as killers because killers have to interact with you all the time every week. So I understand if you don't want to do that with us, but give us a fair shake and cast us in the game. And sort of thing. I don't have the message in front of me, so that's why I'm kind of saying it this way. But anyways, just wanted to share that because I had my own moment with them in the beginning of the game, but as things grew and I was very kind of, like I said, very kind of them that they did answer my questions here at the end. They didn't have to. And I also did mean what I said in the group in the house chat group chat thing in regards to and one of the alliances in regards to how they handled things, and I felt that they were doing what they felt was best and stuff like that. So I meant everything I've said during the game to them and about how people needed to move on and just focus on the case at hand. And after you left the chat, we need to focus back on the game, not talk about this and business. So either way, just want to share that. But all in all, hope everybody did enjoy this. I do thank Misty for being here in the chat, sharing your thought there in the beginning, and others that have joined in. I know I saw a couple people that were watching live that decided not to say anything, which is fine. But I thank Jeff and I thank Coda for being here, being part of the tell-all. I look forward to being part of the next game and doing another tell-all at the end of that game. Hopefully, maybe that time I can join the Winners Club and be part of that with Caleb, Coda, and others. But either way, hope you all enjoy this. And above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out, y'all.